And ABC's Dr. Richard Besser is an expert in this area. He headed up the CDC's team for emergency preparedness and response before joining us here at ABC. So no one better to talk to than you yourself. In fact, you took that spot the day Katrina hit.
That's right.
So the irony there, but you know how to handle situations in a hurricane. What's the first thing people at home should do to make sure they're prepared?
Well, I mean, the advice that we were just hearing is great. And the idea that FEMA has resources ahead of the storm is very reassuring. Three things you can do at home that people may not have thought about. The first one, if you have any propane tanks outside, make sure that they're turned off and secured, and know how to turn off your water and gas. In case there's a big disruption from the storm, that's something you can do right now. In your house, your refrigerator and freezer, turn them down to their coldest setting. That way, your power is going to go out. It'll make sure that your food stays safe even longer. And then your bathtub, fill it up with water, because if you lose your water supply, you can use that for drinking water, for washing, and for flushing the toilet. You can do that right now. If you have little kids, make sure you lock your door.
Rich, last night my wife made me go through the emergency kit with her, and
yes.
I'll admit I was being a little bit of a bad boy and didn't pay attention. So can you go through what we should have
yes.
in the kit?
Okay, so every county in the U.S. has had a declared disaster in the past 10 years. So even if this storm isn't coming your way, get a Red Cross kit. We have one at home, and it's got food and supplies for 3 days. A couple things to highlight from it. You want to make sure you have food and water for 3 days because you're going to be on your own. You have to take care of yourself. You want to make sure that you have a crank or a battery-powered radio or flashlight. This will allow you to stay in tune with your local news and know whether or not you have to take additional precautions. And then medications. Make sure you have at least a 30-day supply of all your medications because your pharmacy isn't going to be there for you.
And I guess the most important bit of advice is to know when you should evacuate, especially for the millions that have never experienced this before.
You want to listen, and if they say evacuate, evacuate. The thing that drove me nuts during storms in my previous job was people who did not listen to that. It's so important. Know your route and know what you're going to do with your pets, and get out of there if they say to get out.
All right, Dr. Besser, thank you so much. Some great advice. We appreciate it.